Hi everyone, delonewolf here and welcome back to the Sunday recap, my weekly vlog where I talk a little bit about my last week in gaming. And first of all, in EVE Online it's been decently busy. I've had to do quite a bit of work to get the engineering complexes up and running. But with that done, it's pretty cool. I've got research facilities and production facilities open to the public at the very low tax rate of 0.1%, so hardly anything. I'm just using that so I can track customer activity a little bit. Not that I'm planning to abuse that or make any of that information public. It's just for me so that I know that people are actually using the facilities that I've set up there. Next to that, I got a little bit of an itch to go back for some more exploration. So I did a bit of testing on that, and eventually I came back to the Ishtar and I refeed that to try and handle some Sancha stuff. It's been going decently well, especially the 3 out of 10s have been treating me very nicely when it comes to the drops. And other than that, I think that basically the Ascension expansion is now in full swing. We've got a lot of alpha characters, a lot of activity on the server, a lot of ganking going on everywhere as well. It's good to see the higher activity. We actually have Plex prices dropping a little bit as well. A lot of people are probably a little bit surprised by that because usually after an expansion towards January we get higher prices. But I just think that now the sales are coming in action and it's just gonna be unstoppable. I don't expect to see a second or an even higher increase in price for Plex until something else drastic happens, like maybe a war or a CCP intervention. So it's a pretty interesting time, and a lot of things of course now need to be stabilized. CCP is gonna keep an eye on everything. I'm mostly looking forward to some actual numbers on the number of alpha characters, the races, activity in the game, what's been going on in general from CCP's point of view, and hopefully we get that in the 07 show. Next up, we've got the Elder Scrolls Online. So I've been playing a little bit more of the Elder Scrolls Online, focusing on the quest line, and it looks like I've hit the end of the major quest lines concerning the 3 races of the Dominion. So I did the High Elves, the Wood Elves, and finally the Khajiit. Been pretty damn interesting, a lot of episodes and a lot of content that came out of that. Also a lot of fun. I really enjoy playing the Elder Scrolls Online in such a casual way, just focusing on the story, focusing on the quests, and with the 1 Tamriel patch it's been a really great experience. But having hit, I think, the end of those quest lines, they're now sending me towards the Mages Guild. I think that's going to be completely different, and since I'm running ahead quite a lot on the upload schedule, I'm probably going to pause the Elder Scrolls Online at this point and I'll jump back in a little bit closer to finishing the current upload. So that gives me a bit more time to maybe explore a different game or something like that. But yeah, Elder Scrolls Online, lots and lots of fun, I must say, just for the base game, right, buy to play. It's a huge amount of content, and it's been working very nicely. Incredible graphics as well. Honestly, it's very close to an Elder Scrolls game. Of course, you have those MMO elements that peep out there once in a while. You've got the looting tables that just don't make sense very often. But on the other hand, if you can enjoy the other players around you that sometimes come in and help you, so adventures all of a sudden pop up to help you with a boss fight and things like that, I've enjoyed it greatly, and yeah, I can only highly recommend the Elder Scrolls Online. But at this point I'll probably take a bit of a break from that and see if there's anything else that I'm interested in. After that, we've got a little bit of Banished, so I'm still working on that new town that I'm making in Banished. It's still what I try to hit whenever I feel like I need to relax a little bit. I don't really know what to do in an evening and I feel a little bit tired, then I just start up my Banished game and keep building there. My previous city that I'm actually pretty damn proud of, it was actually a pretty big city, is coming next week in a video, so hopefully you can check that out. It's more of the 12 by 13 pattern, so that is like a set of tiles, tile sizes that I tend to use in Banished. It just works out so well, especially early on, to find a nice balance and get yourself going. And after that, it's of course pretty difficult to wean yourself away from the pattern. But you can see it's being pushed to the very, very limit in the city that I made before this one, and you'll see it next week, where I definitely focused on that so much that you'll see it's pretty damn cool. In the current city, I am basically trying to switch it up a little bit, have a bit more variety in the way I've been building up my town. There's still a decent amount of work to do when it comes to my Banished town. There's still quite a bit of room where I can do some different stuff, but it's one of those little games that is absolutely awesome in my book, and so I enjoy jumping into a little bit of Banished now and then. And finally, we've got Stellaris. So that's a game I've been playing in co-op with my brother, and it basically got me hooked a little bit. So I explored a few single player games as well. I must say the game is very enjoyable. It's definitely fun if you like some of those grand strategy games where you have to build up an empire and try to manage that, try to find efficient ways of running your empire. But I must also say that the game is a little bit of a pain in the butt from time to time. So I tried to make a more militaristic approach, so someone I could be more aggressive with, and then the game just surrounded me with pacifist races that constantly asked me for peace treaties and for non-aggression pacts and things like that, and it gave me the opportunity to expand my empire very quickly, which is how I usually prefer to play. I like to try and go for a big, strong, but not too aggressive type of empire, but that has a very strong economy so that I can weather any storm that the game throws at me. And so surprisingly enough, going for a more militaristic and aggressive race gave me the opportunity to do just that. So I decided, well, that's a very nice start. Let's try the same with a pacifist. And so it's like a pacifist bureaucracy. It allows you to have like 13 planets in your core sector, which is normally only 5 when you start out. So that's just incredible. You could make a very, very big and powerful economic bloc under your control very quickly if you get the right start. But then I had like 3 or 4 games, and the very first thing that happens is that the neighbor turns out to be some sort of zealot or militaristic crazy guy, and he puts his influence up to my starting border, which basically cut me off from expanding the empire the way I wanted to. They usually also just went straight for the planets that I could colonize early on. So just, yeah, the game tends to put a few hurdles on you early on as well. Which made it very difficult to try and go for the plan that I was going for. But it's definitely a fun game, and I'm probably going to explore that a little bit more in the upcoming weeks as well. So that's going to be it for this Sunday recap, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.